everyone said today's event was awesome. So, but I have a question for you that you didn't mention at the presentation. It's okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, tell me about the background of you, Ken.
Sure. So I got into the blockchain space 2013, 2012, 2013. Was an initial supporter of something called Darkcoin back then, which is now known as Dash. I built a company around the corner from where Ethereum was developed, King and Spadina in Toronto, one of the original meetup spots in Canada for the Ethereum project pre-ICO. And just used to be a kind of a believer in decentralized technologies and anything anything in terms of the actual decentralization of technologies to preserve privacy and all that sort of stuff. And then when I was building my previous company, one of my biggest investors asked us to accept Bitcoin as a method of payment. And this, of course, was before Ethereum's ICO. So we've kind of been in the space looking at doing something like this for well over 4 years now.
Okay, and so my friend, not crypto industry, other friend said, "Oh, you organized Ken's event," and so my friend live in America. Know about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so yeah, today I realized why he know about you, because maybe your app is number one. No. You're very famous for app developer.
Oh, app development
Yeah.
for okay,
iTunes
yeah.
Store.
For the past, iTunes Store, yeah. I've been in the entrepreneurial scene in Toronto and Silicon Valley for many years now, so we know a lot of people.
Silicon Valley people know about you.
Exactly, yeah. The Silicon Valley community is very close.
Oh, I understood. Okay, thank you.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know people knew of this event tonight. That's great.
Okay, and second question is, what kind of problems does Open solve?
So the core infrastructure of Open is to appeal to every application developer, not only centralized and decentralized technologies, but our kind of core ethos is to bring many of the features that are supported in a centralized environment or a fiat-based environment to a decentralized environment. So if you look at the core components of our offering, it's a set of on-chain and off-chain components that make adoption of blockchain very easy. So you can pass in methods properties, append them to application payment, and push that data back into your database from on-chain environments. And of course, a lot of our approach is structured around a construct known as a scaffold. And that scaffold allows developers to deploy their entire payment menu or the digital asset that they want to deploy directly onto any smart contract-based blockchain. And they could do so in a way that they don't have to know any Ethereum or smart contract language, such as Solidity, like I was explaining earlier.
Now, many friends of my friends of engineer now studying Solidity.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They don't need learn about Solidity if they use your.
Exactly. So we wanted to take the complexities or the trouble or hurdle out of learning any blockchain development.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. And yes, next one is Okay. So you can develop applications with Open. Can you use Open for anything else other than gaming
applications? Yeah, of course. Open is designed for any application. It could be utility, could be gaming, could be enterprise, and it could be decentralized or centralized. The whole point of our technology approach is to appeal to all applications and all pricing models and all data models as well. So that was our core focus. Being a Silicon Valley entrepreneur or Silicon Valley based team or grounded in those roots, we always wanted to appeal a solution that would have broad appeal to multiple applications. And of course, we wanted to design this thing where it wasn't subject to one blockchain, it could utilize any blockchain. So if you're an application developer, you could deploy one application and your application could be on multiple blockchains without having to redevelop for each smart contract blockchain. So for example, if I was an application developer and I wanted to deploy on Neo, I would have to adapt to Neo's smart contract language, Cardano's to Cardano's. To our chain, I would have to learn Rolang. To Ethereum, I would have to learn Solidity. And if I had to do this as an application developer multiple times, it's a pain in the neck and it's a giant hurdle. And on the flip side, the blockchain protocol themselves, given that there's so many sprouting up, they would be very competitive to each other for the application developer's attention. So by utilizing a modular system, we can appeal to both parties, blockchain protocols and application developers, so that one application can be developed for multiple blockchains. And that enables blockchains to enjoy applications and their communities to enjoy that application as well.
I see. So now some Japanese company, many Japanese company interested in blockchain, but they didn't know how they can use, and so they don't have blockchain engineer.
Got it.
So I think if you introduce this open to companies, maybe they want to use your platform.
Yeah, that's the purpose. The purpose is to really focus on both centralized application developers, because there are far more centralized application developers. And if we give them a tool that allows them to utilize blockchains without having to restructure their centralized application stack, then you've got a great solution that allow those people to plug in their gaming applications or whatever the application is to a blockchain without having to redevelop for a decentralized environment.
Okay, and how does Open help developers accept cryptocurrency better?
Sure. So we allow developers to accept cryptocurrencies in ways that are meaningful and useful. Right now, you may obtain minimal information when you accept payments on a blockchain, whereas I was explaining in our presentation earlier that a more sophisticated application will require specific data to combine and append with the actual payment. So the example I gave in tonight's talk here in Tokyo is basically, if I made Candy Crush or a game, I would need to understand the user ID, the digital asset, the amount of digital asset, what level I am. I need some additional data to go along with the payment so I could port it over to the correct database tables. Because sophisticated application developers, they need to push specific portions of data to specific tables. And right now, if I handle payments, I get a wallet, I get an address, and I get a number. And that's not useful to anyone who's looking to utilize blockchain as a protocol or cryptocurrency protocol as a form of payments. There needs to be more to the story. So Open really focuses on providing that necessary requirement in a simplistic way for the application developer.
Okay, thank you. And what are your plans to get more developers using the Open platform?
So we naturally have the Developer Growth Program. So the Developer Growth Program is something that we utilize to attract developers and basically acquire new developers in a way where we distribute token to new applications looking to deploy on a blockchain. Could be a CryptoKitties-like game, could be a decentralized or a centralized application looking to accept cryptocurrencies. We deploy it in a way where we essentially give them incentives. For example, CryptoRacingLeague.io is one of our clients, or one of our partners, I should say. They applied to the Developer Growth Program, and I think we gave them something like $100,000 in token incentives and costs, which we use to build out the infrastructure, the marketing of the game, And then we further airdropped to existing communities that we're partnered with. So let's say the Ethereum community, our own community, and the Archain community, for example, or Neo, to kickstart the initial usage or the initial engagement of that new application. So if you were coming out with an application, you would utilize Open. Open would take you to whatever blockchain you want to utilize, and we would airdrop to specific communities to start using your application and kickstart the early engagement.
Okay, thank you. And so I see that you have great partners like Switch.io and Zensoft. How are you working with them to build an ecosystem?
Sure. So initially for Zensoft, they utilize our scaffold technology. The way they work is they work with large Silicon Valley clients and small and medium-sized clients for an agile enterprise development tool that they've built. And they needed a way to accept cryptocurrencies but have the data stay on-chain. Because there was no existing on-chain solutions that would print out the way our scaffolds do, the necessary information, they utilize us in that method. So they would have clients who would pay in Ethereum or their own native ERC20 token, and then we would facilitate that transaction. That explanation is a high level, of course. And then someone like Switch.io, it has a decentralized exchange library that is in development. And one of our features enables a decentralized exchange in the open wallet. And a developer may want to utilize that because they might say, I am a specific application, I only want to accept Monero, or I only want to accept Ethereum, or upon acceptance of all cryptocurrencies, I want to transfer to Open Token or to another token. A decentralized exchange library inside of our wallet, such as Switch.io, could make that happen.
Please give the message to Japanese community.
Great. So we're basically very excited about the Japanese community in itself. As a previous application developer, being a successful gaming entrepreneur, I've always competed with companies in the Japanese region. Some of the best application developers exist in Japan. Japan has a giant mobile gaming and desktop gaming market. So something like Open really appeals to this market because there's so many developers. And those developers who are interested in accepting cryptocurrencies, which there are many, could utilize something like Open for free to instantly begin accepting cryptocurrencies in a way that ties into their application backend in a simple manner. So for us, the Japanese market is a very big market. And of course, Japan's a lot of fun. I just want to say thank you for having us. We spoke tonight at an event in Tokyo that we hosted, and Mai helped us. It was amazing. So we're really excited for Japan. We're really excited to be here. So thank you. Or arigato.
Arigato. Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mai. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.